Hello book lovers, my name is Carrie and this is Spines and Spoilers. So we are doing things a little bit differently today because it is the summer. My spouse and my stepdaughter are still at home, so I can't really film anything. If I did, they would be in the room, there would be noise, plus I'm self-conscious about filming with anyone in the room. So instead I'm going to film in my car, and I'm going to try and make it quick because I have the AC running and I don't want to run out of gas. But today we are discussing my TBR for August. I'll be honest, some of the things on this list I have already read because I've just been ravenous for books lately. Usually I would start off with what I'm reading and what I am drinking, but I do not have a drink with me at the moment. What I am listening to, it is an audiobook, is Outsider by Stephen King, and I'm just starting The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz as well. Sorry for the shaky cam, I don't have something to hold up my phone in the car, so we're going back to the old days, alright? I'm actually really enjoying Outsider right now. I hate to admit that because Stephen King and I were on a bit of a hiatus. I read It, and it kind of spoiled him for me for quite a while. But yeah, we're kind of making up, I think. I'm about a third of the way into that though, and then I just started The Writing Retreat. Like, I'm maybe 2 chapters in. It is fine so far. I don't really have much to say about it. Alright, so the first 5 on this list are ones that I've actually already read. I read them within like the first 3 days of August because I just liked them that much, I guess. And that's the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. It goes Truly Devious, The Hand on the Wall, The Vanishing Stairs, and that's a little trilogy in itself based around the Truly Devious murders. And then there's The Box in the Woods, which is a standalone mystery, and 9 Liars. I absolutely adored these books. I'm pretty sure they're YA, I don't know. But for some reason it just hit exactly the right spot in my brain at the right time, I guess, because I absolutely flew through them. I enjoyed them from start to finish. I almost gave them 5 stars, but they weren't quite long enough for my liking, so they got 4.5 for the most part. Box in the Woods, I think, got 4. 9 Liars, yeah, probably a 4 as well. I hated that ending. The ending was, yeah. The rest of it was good though. Alright, the next 2 I've also already read. They're not by the same author though. One is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'm sure that sounds very familiar to a lot of you. It is the 3rd book in the Inheritance game series. My left hand was really starting to hurt, so we're switching to the right for a little bit. But yeah, it was the 3rd volume. There's supposed to be a 4th one coming out, I think, but this was supposed to be the conclusion to the overall arc, and I really enjoyed it. I couldn't really give it a perfect score because some of it was a little bit tedious and a little bit predictable, but overall I just enjoyed that series in general. That guy just pulled up next to me and he won't leave. I was trying to wait him out, but he won't leave. But the next book is The Family Game by Catherine Steadman. It reminded me quite a bit of Ready or Not, the horror movie. I really enjoyed it though. It gave off those vibes. Basically, she learns that things are not quite what they seem. She's marrying into a rich family, and murders have been committed, but she's not positive who committed them. She's pretty sure it's her father-in-law, but she's not completely positive. Either way, he's playing games with her. That is all of the books that I've already read, and then the rest of it is my actual TBR for August. And the first one of that is The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, which I already mentioned. It is a book about a writing retreat. It is a little vacation supplied by a famous writer. She's gathering a bunch of people together for a writing retreat, and then shenanigans start happening and they have to figure out what is going on. I'm sure that you're noticing kind of a theme. I actually didn't pick that one specifically. That's one of the ones that I picked out of the jar. I should have mentioned that. These 5 that I'm mentioning right now, I pulled them from the pumpkin. So if the pumpkin says so, I guess, and it just happened to fit in my current mood of reading, which is sleuthing, I guess. Mysteries, thrillers, and sleuthing. But we're gonna mix that up because the next one is All Hallows by Christopher Golden. This one it reminds me a little bit of like Halloween mixed with Slender Man a little bit. It takes place on Halloween and it circulates around a villain called the Cunning Man. I am so interested to see how this turns out. I've never read anything by this author to my knowledge, and it just sounds so interesting. The next book is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I will correct myself down below, I suppose, if I did not the right way to pronounce it. But yeah, Babel. Everyone's heard of this, I'm pretty sure. I've been told repeatedly not to look up too much on this because it's easy to spoil and because it's just better to go in blind, so I am going to trust the people who have said this. I am a little hesitant because it's fantasy and my brain is not really in its fantasy era right now, like I said, but maybe I can trick myself back into it. We'll see. The fourth book from the pumpkin is Tender as the Flesh by August TBR. I am so excited for this one. I've heard so many good things about it, so many disturbing things. The main thing that I know about it is that it involves cannibalism. I believe harvesting people for their flesh, and I'm trying not to look too much into it because that just sounds absolutely enthralling and I'm really excited for that one. The fifth and last book from Pumpkin is Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. This one sounds interesting. It's another mystery book, of course, and it's another one from Pumpkin, so I don't want to hear it. The Pumpkin says so, alright? The way it's described is secrets, lies, and super bad choices and witchcraft. So that's intriguing. Also, it is dusty as hell. Look at that. It's a good thing it's got a dust jacket. But yes, this is the last one from the Pumpkin. And I'll probably end up drawing more, but this is just like the initial 5 to get us started with the lovely Pumpkin. I also mentioned The Outsider, which I'm currently reading. It is oddly also a mystery, which is kind of why I ended up reading it. I was looking through Libby, and I saw the Stephen King book that I'd heard a lot about, but not quite. I hadn't heard about the actual plot, just that people were enjoying it. And I was like, maybe I should give him another chance, because I've loved all his other work, basically. Like, he drones, but we love him for it. So, I decided I was going to give him another chance, and looked into what it was about, and of course it's a mystery. There seems to be some supernatural elements mixed in, but I'm not positive yet. Either way, I'm really enjoying it so far. Alright, these last 2 books are books that I picked up from the library that I just want to read. They have nothing to do with the Pumpkin or stumbling onto it like on Libby or anything like that. I just want to read these 2 books. The first one is Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. I know very little about it. I just know that it's been doing very well. From what I understand, though, one of the main themes is death and grief, and death is kind of like a special interest of mine. I literally studied to be a funeral director for 2 years, and it literally is just a special interest of mine. So yeah, it sounded extremely interesting to me, and this is a thick one. I don't know if I'm going to read this one this month, to be perfectly honest, but I'm going to try. This last one is one that I didn't even know it existed until I found it, and I was so excited when I did. It's Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. It is the sequel to My Heart is a Chainsaw, which I absolutely loved, and I'm just so freaking excited. I've kind of been eating it up, but I am absolutely loving it so far, and I'm still just euphoric at the fact that it has a sequel. I had no idea that there was going to be a sequel in the first place. So yeah, I think this might end up being a 5-star read. Like, I don't like making predictions like that, but it may indeed end up being a 5-star read. But that is it. I'm pretty sure I'm not forgetting anything. I'm sure we'll see in the wrap-up whether I have or not. At any rate, that's it for my TBR. I'm cutting it here for the month of August. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been way too long since I've made actual content for this freaking channel. I have decided that I'm going to kind of cut my videos into seasons because that's what happens anyway. I just end up basically taking the summer off So I'm just going to kind of plan my videos around it from this point on and assume that I'm at least going to be taking June and July off from this point on. But thank you for watching. I hope that you guys are staying safe out there. You're having a good time enjoying the last of the summer weather. I'm not. I hate the summer. I'm looking forward to fall, but I hope you're enjoying it. At any rate, if you want to like, share, and subscribe, that's fine. You do you. What's most important is that you remember to love yourself. Please. Alright, bye.